Lobozone 1 here, and I am addicted to Barricades. Barricades are the class ability for Titans in Destiny 2, and they are fantastic. You can use them offensively, defensively. They're super versatile, a lot of fun to use. Admittedly, it's taken me a while to kind of get the hang of how to use them effectively, so I wanted to make a quick video to share some of the things that I found to be helpful and some of the situations I found Barricades to be really useful. So the first thing I want to talk about is using Barricades to lock down a control point. You can use it for locking down heavy ammo, pretty much any spot that you need to buy a few extra seconds to help you or your team hold down a specific spot. So here I'm going to pop the barricade to just ensure that we get this point before people start rushing in trying to throw grenades and take us out. So we'll watch this clip again. I throw a grenade. I have the plan that I'm gonna capture B. I get a little detoured by having to take somebody out that was standing in here. After I do so, I'm going to move up to the front and block one of the main sight lines with the barricade just to buy us an extra couple of seconds and help ensure that we capture this point. So you can use this again for heavy ammo, control points, and pretty much anything you want to hold down. The next use for barricades I want to talk about is using it to become a little more unpredictable and perform sort of like quick strikes on Guardians and then quickly get back to cover. So we're going to continue from the same clip. I'm going to place the barricade down, lock down zone B, and there's going to be a Guardian straight across the right who's going to be damaged. And I'm going to pop out real quick, hit him a couple times, and then come right back. So like a quick strike, and good thing I do because that rocket was flying in there, and if the barricade wasn't there, there's no way I would have survived that rocket. So you can use the barricade as a point of attack and then cover for these quick strikes to make yourself a little more unpredictable, because when you're standing behind the barricade, they're not really sure what you're going to do. Are you going to stay there and hold down the spot, or are you going to do some sort of offensive maneuver? The next technique I think is one of the more difficult to get the hang of, and that's using the barricade to extend cover. So we're going to watch this clip a couple of times. We're going to use the barricade to extend already existing cover to increase the width of that cover, which will help us both offensively and defensively. When you're using your barricade to extend cover, you don't want to be flush against the wall when you trigger the barricade, because you're going to lose a lot of the width, in this case on the left side of the barricade. So you want to be kind of like 3 steps off the wall or cover that you're going to try to extend. And the reason you want to do this is to maximize the amount of width of the barricade to force the Guardian to overextend themselves out of their cover. That way you can take them out. So you'll see here I'm going to move up to the wall about 3 steps from it, pop it, and now here comes the Guardian. He's overextending himself. He's completely exposed and cannot retreat to cover. I go back to get my health back a little bit. Here comes another one doing the exact same thing, and I'm able to jump in and slam him. So extending cover is a really great way to force Guardians to overextend themselves and come out of cover, because the good players will try to stay close to walls to avoid team shotting. But if you're able to use the barrier, like this example, you can help bait them out. The next technique is using the barricade to help yourself escape danger and get your health back. So one thing to keep in mind here is this technique works best if you're using the barricade in a more narrow area, like this example. And the reason is because you can plug up almost every spot where they might shoot you. And if you have red health, it's only going to be like 1 shot before you get killed. So if you pop it out in an open area, like say right outside this door, they can go around it, they can jump over it, and they land a shot or 2 on you and you're done. So you can see here I'm going to pop the shield in this narrow area after I take some damage. Grenades in there doing work, and I'm just going to leave. I'm going to dip out, I'm going to loop around, and I happen to come across somebody who was trying to flank. Here's an example of me trying to use the barricade to help me escape and utterly failing. I do pretty much everything wrong here. So I loop around into this dark area, and I'm looking down. I'm going to put a couple shots on somebody, and then I get knocked down to red health by the next Guardian that comes in here. And I'm going to try to escape, and I put the barricade way too close to the wall like we were talking about, so it really is doing nothing. And then I turn around, and then for some reason I go back and try to take him out. So just make sure if you have a plan with the barricade, try to stick to it and see it through. Don't try to change your mind with it. Usually doesn't work out. This is another good example of using the barricade to help you escape danger, specifically when you've taken damage and you're pretty certain they're going to try to come finish you off. This example uses a grenade, but it can be used with gunshots as well. So I get 3 there with the super. I see the other guy hanging out. He knows I have one. He's not going to come around. I loop around and get him for 4. I'm going to retreat in and try to gather my bearings. Grenade comes in. I'm taking a ton damage, pop the shield, and then bail. So we'll watch this again. Once I pop the shield, I know they're going to try to come finish me off. So here I pop it, and immediately I'm going to exit. This guy actually runs through the shield, which gets me the kill. So barricades can be really helpful for helping you escape danger. These are just a couple of tips that I found to be helpful when using barricades in the Crucible, and I hope that you found this helpful. Give them a try. They're really versatile and a ton of fun.